Hey, babe. Welcome to my garden. Honde onde am oi bonto. I hope you enjoyed looking at some of the things that I have growing in my garden today. We'll take you around. Bacoba. So it's a beautiful day, and I've done some cleaning of all the problem areas, all the messy areas. So the garden looks so pretty, and there's no greater feeling than getting your garden cleaned up, and it always feels great. So we're gonna go around and look at all the pretty areas. It's like catching lightning in a bottle, because it's not always as pretty, and sometimes you miss the beauty of one thing because of the weather or whatever. Like it's been it's been rainy, so we haven't mowed a lot, but we've got a lot of lush growth because of all the rain. So I'm gonna go around and start showing you the different areas. It's not perfect. There's still some areas that need a little fixing up, but like I said, I'm gonna catch lightning in a bottle right now. Oh, there's a red bird on the tree over there by the white tree over there, the white blooming tree. And oh, it's on the fence. Oh, I wish I could get in there and catch it. There, oh, there it goes. Oh, it's hiding behind it. But there it is. Okay, so I'm gonna go around now, and we'll go ahead and look at the garden and show you the how pretty it is right now. And I'll go ahead and start naming some things as well. Okay, so this is just a regular spider plant. I bring them out. I brought these out in the summertime, trying to get them to see what they would do outside. And you're supposed to keep them in smaller containers. So so this is a small container, and it's growing from the center, and it looks really good. And over here is just my regular hosta. I took from the ground when I redid an area, and a few days ago I put in a sweet potato vine, and I'm sure that's going to start taking off really soon. And let's come on over here and look at the aloe. It's not very impressive, but if you knew how it started out this summer, it started out about like this little one here. And because it didn't do well in the winter, I didn't take care of it in the winter, and so I had to kind of restart the whole thing. So it's looking really good. They like to stay a little drier than other plants, so it's doing pretty up here in this thing. So, and I've got my propagations going, here and there. So you'll see a few of those. This one looks like it's almost ready. It probably would do okay to plant it now, but I wanted to have a few more roots. So this container has, this is foxtail fern, and it's such a pretty plant. I discovered it last year, put it in my garden, and saw how beautiful that it got, how it grows. And it is, let's see, it's a annual outside here in Oklahoma, Lawton, Oklahoma. And so if I want to keep it, I'm gonna have to bring it in. And this is just our regular, oh, what is that called? It's not a heuchera. It is and this is my friend, what is this called? So I'll be naming the plants as I remember them. So, so this is this planter here. I did put in a little sweet potato vine, but it looks like I forgot about it and didn't keep watering. You do have to water them when they're tender like that, when you just transplant them like that. So I'll probably put some water in there. It might rebound because they're pretty sturdy. So, okay, let's go over here. Over here on this table, I have another foxtail fern with a pothos. I added a pothos with it, and these are they like the shade more than bright sun, so keep them shaded. And I just have my group of things I'm trying to regrow over here, and looks like I need to do some watering on that marigold. And over here I bought, a couple of weeks ago, I got this tropical plant, and it's kind of in the shade. It needs to be in the sun. but it's still doing okay. So I have it in sun partial part of the day, and it has these pretty blooming flowers, and it does really good in the sun. So let's go ahead and go down this way. All right, so this is where I keep my hostas, and it's looking okay. It's looking a little ragged. Looks like the hosta over there is getting some holes in it. Something's eating at it. So I need to put maybe some slug bait around the bottom. It could be slugs. It could, I have a rabbit that comes through this area over here, so it could be him. So I don't know. So this is my first one of these, and I've had to trim it down because it looked like it was dying and dried out in a lot of places. So I went and trimmed it down, and because I did everything I knew to do to keep it growing and pretty, but it just kept getting uglier and uglier. So I trimmed it all the way down, and I'm just gonna keep treating it like I do the rest of my plants. And this is its first year in my ground here, so I think maybe next year it'll be prettier. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes if you just wait a year, it roots in and it starts looking better. So I'm gonna hope that happens to this one here. So let's go on. Oh, a unimus. So this little bush on the corner of the house is a unimus, and so these over here are golden unimuses. That one there and there, they're golden unimuses because they get that yellow tip, and that's what happens to them in the sun. If you keep them out of the sun, if they're in a shade area, they won't get that golden color to them. Looks like I have my mint growing well in this section, and then there's a couple of flowers there, some zinnias. I just try to keep this with some easy stuff. And over here I planted my 2 red twig dogwoods because they were doing terribly in the sun. So I planted them over here in a more shady area, and they rebounded. So this area, I usually keep it, kind of messy, but because my puppy is over there, he passed away last November, like on it was like November 1, and so we have him over there, and so I've been wanting to zhuzh this up, make it a little pretty. So I planted the flowers over here, and a couple of days ago I cleaned it up pretty good, and I added the pavers and the mulch. So I think it looks pretty good. It's a pretty good little area for my baby, my little puppy. So, and we went on a little trip, and our aunt bought this little marker for him. I thought it was so cute. You left paw prints on my heart. So those of you who have animals, excuse me, those of you who have animals, you know how that is. So we love our puppies and our cats. So anyway, this is the garden area, and let's see what we got here. I've got some flowers growing. I've got some, looks like climbing pole beans. I thought it was bush beans, but they are climbing. So we'll just let them do their thing. I haven't seen any flowers yet, so I might need to give them some fertilizer. I'll try that today. I did one time, but I haven't really been on it, giving them fertilizer. And here my little strawberry patch. It's given us a few handfuls of strawberries, so it's doing okay. And just, have a lot of mint over here. I just like to let it do its thing. And there's some chives. And I've planted, some basil. So I've got some basil starting. But that's the extent of this. Whoa. Okay, now this is the area that always, is pretty. Full of flowers and green things. So let's go over here. This is a chase tree. It's past its blooming phase, I suppose. It had pretty the purple lavender flowers in earlier. They came out in, I think, May, and they were pretty, but that flush of flowers is gone, and I don't think I'm gonna get it back. I don't know. And I just have a row of zinnias over here and a few cosmos that came back. But anyway, so I had these grew because I'd left, some of my debris over here when I was cleaning the garden in the, last year. So this is what happens when you leave your debris in spots. Sometimes you get a lot of flowers growing the next spring, and that's what happened, and I just love it. It's just a bonus. So of course I've got this beautiful crepe myrtle that comes back. Now my crepe myrtles, they always just make me so happy. They bloom in this when everything else has a hard time blooming. The crepe myrtles are doing their thing. So they're just a beautiful, beautiful plant. And I did get scale last year, and I haven't seen any on this bush in particular, but I have seen a little bit on the Natchez crepe myrtle over there, just a little bit. Last year it was really bad, but this year I just see a strip of it, and I need to get after that. I just haven't got to it yet. But let's see what's going on here. We got some cosmos bumping up, some zinnias. This is another area where the seeds just fell where they wanted, and I'm letting them do their thing. And this tree, I don't know if it likes its spot or not. It's got these little, looks like a fungus on it, or, it looks kind of rusty in these rusty areas, so I'm not sure what that is. It happened last year too, but there's some growth up here, and that looks real clean. So maybe I'll put some kind of some spray on it to see if it helps that out, because I really do want this to grow here. More flowers I planted some of them, but a lot of them are just rebloomed, or seeds left behind last year. They just reseeded themselves. Over here under this crepe myrtle, I'm trying to start a hosta grouping. I only have 2 there right now. I have one more that I'm going to put over here as soon as I get a chance. And let's see, let's just go on. This is actually that pretty fall flower, the mum. That's a mum, chrysanthemum. And I have, because if you plant your chrysanthemums at the end of the season, you'll get these pretty growths in the spring, and they look like little bushes. They're really cute, and they'll bloom twice. They'll bloom once in the spring, summer, then they'll bloom again in the fall. So in time for fall color and stuff. So, but here's all the zinnias. A few cosmos in there. I have an Indian blanket down there. I have, let's see, we have a brown-eyed Susan there. And I thought I would get more brown-eyed, black-eyed Susans. I'm not sure which is that, a brown-eyed Susan or black-eyed Susan. I thought I would get more, but I've only had 2 or 3 show up, and because I spread the seeds out, and that's really all I got. So I'll have to study up on that and see how to get more. Maybe I just need to go ahead and plant them instead of just expecting them to come when I throw some seeds. So anyway, we've got these growing here. This Natchez crepe myrtle, I need to get those suckers from the bottom and clean that up. And let me show you what I mean by the scale. See, last year it was bad. This year, there was a spot, and I don't see it now. I wonder if it's been remedied naturally. I don't see it. There was like a little bit of scale on this branch or that branch. I don't see it. So, like I said, maybe it remedied itself. I'm not sure. Anyway, so we've got more plants over here. I've got this purple salvia. I have these all around my garden, trying to, get them prolificate. I don't know. Trying to have a bunch in the yard because they're great. They're great plants, and the bees love their flowers and so forth. So anyway. So on this side, on the other side, I have a lot of zinnias. On this side, I have a lot of cosmos, these orange cosmos. And they kind of reseeded themselves over here. And so I went ahead and put a couple of zinnias because I thought, well, I need some variety. So I just put a couple over there. But in here, I have mostly cosmos. And here we got a few brown-eyed, black-eyed Susans there. That came back for us, which was really nice. And there's another mum. It's a giant mum. This one has grown, it's quadrupled its size, and it's getting its first flush of flowers here, and they're kind of fall colored. orangey yellow. They're so pretty. And let's see, underneath this big mound of flowers is I've got some little bunnies in the yard, and they kind of hide under there sometimes, and when I go to water they usually have to run out. So anyway, okay, so I've got this crepe myrtle here. It's, you know, it's just getting there. And I have this Chinese pistache tree here, and my little table over here that I have to keep we have a lot of high winds here, so I have these on here to keep the wind from blowing them off. And I have my little fountain. It looks like I need to replenish it. I filled it up about 2-3 days ago, and it's already way down, so that tells me how hot it is. Okay, let's move on. This is my grouping in front of the deck. That is a red tipped phonia. I think that's what Photinia. I have one there, and then there's just some mint. There is some, oh goodness. Oh, this is dianthus. I have some dianthus around. This one is the one that's done the best. It's all by itself in this container. The ones that are kind of over there, they've been drowned out by all the other flowers, and I don't even know if they're blooming over there. So anyway, so I just have, you know, an array of a few things here. There's the cosmos. There's the what's that called? There's the vincas. That I just found out this week, vincas are a tropical plant, and that is why they are so beautiful. That's why they bloom so well. I didn't know they were tropical, but vincas grow really well here in Oklahoma. Just when, you know, just beautiful. And this is I can't think of the name of this lovely thing, but I love them. They're so beautiful. Silver maple? No. Anyway, there it is. I'll think of it as I walk around. Okay, so let's go over here in the secret garden. I have, this is a black diamond crepe myrtle, and then there's just a gold marigold down here. And there's actually, this needs to be watered. I mean, you can just tell. But let me speak up a little bit louder. But this one does have the scale, and I've only cleaned it once. And look at, this is what scale is those white bumps on there, and it really does make the plant, it really does decimate the plant. So I really need to get in there and scrub it. I was kind of dejected or kind of sad when I saw the scale on this one like this, and I just I kind of gave up a little bit, but I still have it, so I'm going to probably do something with it. This is a maple, not a maple, this is an Oklahoma redbud of sorts that I captured from the ground, and I put it, you know, I was able to put it in a pot, and they're really undergrowth trees, and so I'm hoping it does okay in the sun. It's larger, so it might do fine in the sun. Every time I've tried to put one of these in when they're smaller in the sun, they usually just die, but this one might be able to make it because it's larger. So okay, let's see what's going on over here. I do repeat a lot of the same plants because they're the ones that do well for me. Let's see, the purple salvia, the cosmos. This is a daylily, and it has the pink flowers. You can see they're kind of dying off right now. But they're really pretty pink flowers. Let's see what else we have. This can be weeded a little bit. This is monkey grass, and it's hard to, you know, keep the little weeds out. So I get some weeds in there that I have to go in sometimes and clean those out. But anyway, here we go. More of the same things that work well for me. Marigolds. This flag here that my mother-in-law calls it. Some zinnias. This is something that's a little different. This is my Rose of Sharon. I've been growing it for this might be its fourth time with me, its fourth year. And it's finally got some growth on it, and it's finally blooming, you know, vigorously. So just patience. sometimes you just need patience. More of the same. This was a lily, but it's not blooming anymore. My fountain here with some cosmos and zinnias, another mum back there where it's time to trim it down. I'll go ahead and trim off all that dead and wait for it to flush again back in the fall. Here's another Oklahoma redbud, and like I said, this one it grew there itself, and so I'm just letting it grow. I think it might be an okay spot for it. And just like I said, more of the same. So, and here's another crepe myrtle here. This is a little bit of my messy area, but I'm going to show you anyway. I've got a unimus over here. This is the same kind of golden unimus. Hold on. This is a golden unimus that's in the shade, so it doesn't have as many yellow tip flowers. And I just have a hosta down there and some mint, that's all. But it's just kind of a cute area. I don't do a whole lot over here. I just don't. Okay. We all have these areas, so I try to keep it as neat as possible. Okay, and this is one of my favorite things in the garden. It is a Japanese maple. It blooms red in the spring with all the leaves. The leaves bloom, I don't know if bloom is the right word, but it comes out, the foliage is red in the spring, then it goes to this green, and then you have a little bit of red left. And I can't remember what it does in the fall, but it's a beautiful plant. And anyway, so here is the secret garden, and back up there you can see another beautiful crepe myrtle in full bloom, and it just looks so pretty. Let's go to the front. I haven't done a whole lot in the front, but I do want to share that. I work more in the back because, I can be as messy as I want. I can go out there in my jammies. So here's that beautiful crepe myrtle in full bloom. Here's a cosmos area that I have over here. I just made it a little bit bigger. It was just that area. Now I made it bigger to accommodate all the zinnias that I get. Over here, more of the same. Because like I said, if it does good for me, I'm going to keep it. But these are they have done so beautifully. And I cannot think of the name of them. Just because I'm thinking about it, I can't think of the name. Okay, and then here I just have some mint because I wanted some mint smell up here. Then I have a pothos in there. And I need to add something of contrast in there because right now everything's so green you can't really see the pothos. So I need to add something in there to contrast the dark green. There is another golden unimus down there. And this was those little, I forgot what these are called. But anyway, this was a propagation, and I can't remember what this is called, but it's not doing too hot in here. I don't know if it's too wet or what. But here's the other bushes. This is a really good view right here. I've got the Nandina here. I've got the holly. Oh, this is a holly of some sort. These two are hollies. And it's time to trim. I just haven't got to it yet. Trying to think of the right name of it. But let's see. Just more of like I said, more of the same. I've got marigolds and zinnias and purple salvia, and then that white one over there whose name I can't think of. And I finally did get some of these up here in the front, these sweet potato vines with the vincas in there, and it does great up here. And this gets the hottest heat of the day. And there's that tropical plant there, and this is a what is this one called? Purple heart. And I just love a purple heart. It was one plant that I was not thrilled about when I first saw it because I thought, oh, that's got kind of, and it was kind of a the leaf was a little bit different. It didn't, it wasn't a flatter leaf, and then I realized how well it does in the heat. And when you can't get a lot of color, it gives you this really beautiful purple. And I fell in love with it. I thought, oh my gosh, it's a heat lover. Oh, bug. It's a heat lover. It grows prolifically. This was from one little plant that I bought this, maybe in March. And, it does like this. And you can propagate it really easily. So, I have some plants over there, but they need watering, so we're not going to worry about those over there in the corner. But up there, I've got a pothos hanging, and it does very well for me in the summer, hanging. So, I do need to water those over there, those poor things. And over here, I just have more of the same. But I have we have these here. And that's pretty much it. I did add a sage here, Russian sage, because they're another prolific plant in Oklahoma. They do well in our heat. And then I have, zinnias and so forth. And those flags back there, irises, that's what they are. I just kept calling them flags. But those are irises, and they didn't bloom for me this year, probably because I moved them. I think they're well, they have been for me. They're a little fussy. If I move them, they don't bloom for me right away. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I don't know. It could probably use some fertilizer over here. So, boxwoods, that's what they are. My boxwoods. Okay, so that is the tour. So that's the tour. I hope you enjoyed looking at the garden, and I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the things that you can grow in Oklahoma and that do well for me here in Southwest Oklahoma. So if you're an Oklahoman, you can kind of borrow some of these ideas. Hey, I am oi ton ta tho obaha.